If you could subscribe or leave a like or leave a comment, I'd appreciate it very much. Thank you very much for watching. So today now I'm going to be refurbishing this steering box or Major. So some fairly horrible stuff came out. I put a bit of cardboard underneath, but it soon filled it up. See, I've taken one shim came off anyway. I think there's another one on it, so I'll take that off as well and bolt it back up and see how it stands then. You take the shims out and it pushes on this middle bit and tightens it up. This shaft is pretty good, but see, it's all chewed up, and this bottom bit, sure you can tell, because there's a crack running across it there. So that's junk, and this didn't help. So this little roller goes on like the nut goes up and down. Look what I found. Steering box in bits. So probably had the shaft off it for another one, and I tipped it over and look, it fell out. That little roller's broken of mine, so that's ideal. I need to take this nut off, pull this arm off again, take the end plate off, and I'm going to knock the shaft out and have a look at it to see if it's actually usable and better than my one. I don't think you can actually see it, but it has a load of, instead of thread, it has a load of ball bearings in it. So you see the round grooves there? So there are a load of ball bearings in there, and they just go round and round. So I've got some new ball bearings to take up a bit of wear in it. There's also a bearing there and a bearing there. Once you take this apart, those bearings will fall apart then. They're just one race and you have to stick in the individual balls then. I got a pair of bearings top and bottom. They're not too bad in this, but while I have it apart I might as well change them. The seal was leaking as well for shaft wear, so I got one of those as well. So it's only like half this side, this half that actually works against this thread. So you actually, and you see the taper there as well, in the fork and in the nut. You sort of shim it over to, you know, get it nice and tight then. And you have a load of shims here that you take out for wear. But I took all of them out, and there's still a lot of wear in it. See the race there that sat in there flush. You have to get this big plug off the bottom to actually get at the bearing race to knock it out, like that. It's nearly come out anyway. See there? So you can see the ball bearings work on this side, and you have like a pipe then that transfers them right round. Here's all the scrap from the steering box basically, including seal. So this thread after taking out, see, is all chewed up there. Then down here again is all chewed up there. So it'll be tight like halfway, then it'll go slack again. So here you go, a nice new shiny part. This is a Power Super Major steering shaft, because it's a tad longer because you have a little dashboard at the top that's, say, that thick sort of thing. So yeah, it comes with a new nut that's already fitted, and it has all the ball bearings inside it, so you don't have to mess about with that. You can just thread it through there and slide it in like that. This is the steering column now, and bolts off the box, and it has this wrapped bronze bush. See the split in it, it closes together when you actually put it in. But I got a suitably sized socket, the same diameter as this, and I use that to knock it, because it's wider inside here, just knock it down and it fell through then. So there's a lot of wear on this, and this is the only thing that stops water going inside there. So this is actually full of rainwater when I first drained it. I couldn't really find one I wanted this size. It's an inch OD by 1/2 inch long, and the ID is 5964. So I measured the new shaft to see how much the new one was, and it was 5964. But I found this bush on eBay. So it's 1 inch OD, and it's 1/2 inch long, but the middle is 7/8. So and it's a sintered oil-filled bronze bush, solid one. So I'll knock that in now, and I'm actually waiting for a new reamer to come. So I've just started off a hammer now, and I put a piece of wood to save the bottom there, and I put a piece of wood on top now to actually hit the rest of the way down. New bush fitted and it's quite a tight fit. So maybe it's, well, it was pretty tight. It's most likely shrunk a bit smaller than 7/8 now. So it's going to need reaming anyway. So yeah, it's a proper interference fit anyway. I think I might take the grease nipple out and drill it now. So that job is all over and I just have to ream it out. So I'm going to actually use a vintage / classic tool for this. So it's an old Black & Decker that I actually inherited from my great uncle, the one that bought the Jones baler new. So I got them off him. It still works, I think. And I like to give it, a little use here and there when it suits generally. So nice to keep it working anyway. So I fitted a new race to bottom, and you see a flat spot there. So I've got a piece of wood and just nice size there. And I got my 3/4 socket, couple extensions, 1 3/8. See, this is a nice size to knock that in. It's a nice length. Now I'm going to refit this drain plug / bolt on this, and just need to clean up the gaskets really, and pretty much ready. Now I've fitted the seal back in. So never ream a dry hole. Use some lubrication.
Oh, behave!
Another rule with any reamer is never reverse it. So you keep on turning it clockwise, like on a thread tap. You turn it clockwise, then you turn it anti just to break off chips, but you never do it with these. If you do reverse these, you can ruin the edge on them, the sharpness in. So always turn them that way, even when you take them out. Okay, and plenty of oil really with them. So I'll give you a lowdown on this shaft. This is a new aftermarket steering shaft. I measured it. It was 23.5-ish, and the closest thing in imperial to 23.5 is 23.4 something, which is 59.64. So I got my reamer. So I used that, worked good finish having, but it's still too small. So I measured again and measured across, and I think this new shaft is actually metric. So when it's 23.5, it's 23.5, like. So I did buy adjustable reamer. This has a bit of a manufacturing defect. That's why I bought this. I got a refund for that, and it kept on jamming up basically. So I've had to sort of make do with this and just basically use it just to sort of chip away a little bit at a time, just file away at this bush, so I can actually get some clearance for it to actually fit, and see, nice snug fit now, and it just so turns. So I'm happy with that fit now, but yeah, I've been ages at it with this. So I can actually carry on now with actually putting the steering box back together. So this took a lot of my patience, so. So it's been a while since I've last touched this.
It's been 84 years.
Count that you got 10 little ball bearings, and get some ZP2 I'm using now. It's a bit thicker and more sticky then. So put the grease in there, and I'll carefully put each ball in the race, and the grease will hopefully hold it in place. Then I can slide this shaft into place. So that's the first job. Plus I have a shims, and I have the old gasket that came off in one piece for the top. So there was a bit of Insta gasket, just to seal round here and round that hole there. So just belts and braces, I don't want it to leak again. All 10 of the balls are in. I need to now gently thread this through, up through here, and then stick it in there.
I suggest you don't use the telephone, you don't sneeze, you don't cough, you don't do anything, and if you have to break wind, maybe one a little quiet.
Now I've got this upside down in a vise, so I can do the bearing. I greased the race, and I've slipped it on first before putting the vise. And I'll put the balls in now. I'll hold it halfway up, put the balls in it, and slide it upwards into place. So this is a proper way you're supposed to do it, upside down then. Well, there's no really other way you could do it. As you can see, I've put it together and I pushed it up. But it needs a bit of pressure to push it in. So I've got a delicate point now. I need to actually slip this column onto it and tighten up the nuts to push that race up. So it's a bit delicate now, and it could easily go awry with me.
We almost got.
So I put this back together with all the old shims and gaskets and tighten up two bolt nuts then, but it was too tight. It was too hard to turn it. So I add some more shims to it to make it a bit easier then. Thankfully I have all these shims from another steering box. So funny thing is, there's a lot more shims here than what came out of it. So maybe someone in the past took a few shims out to tighten up the bearings then. That's how these work. As the steering box wears, you can take it apart and take a shim out, tighten it back down, and it tightens up the bearings a bit. So this is new now. It actually has to shim it out a bit because there's no actual wear in it to take up, if you get what I mean. I finished shimming the top steering column, so that's good now. I'm going to shim the side. So this shaft now, see it comes in out there. It fits on this taper there. So you shim the side plate and the little roller here over so it takes up the slack. So I put all the shims I had into it and I tightened it down, and this still wiggled a little bit. When you grabbed the side, it still wiggled back and forth a bit. So I've taken out one shim now. So I'll bolt the plate back down and try it again. So I took a shim out and I'll try it now. See, I'll wiggle this back forward. It's not bad, but it's still a bit of play there. So I'll take this plate off again and whip another one off to see, and it's just trial and error. Same with the top here. But because I didn't have enough shims, you had a job to try to turn the steering wheel. So I added shims until it was easy to turn without, going up and down. So that's what I do here then. It's basically add shims to make it easier to turn and take them away if you have too much play. That's it all done, and I've just filled it to oil. I like these old 2-stroke oil bottles for that job really. And I really like these square plugs. See, I've got a 3/8 ratchet and it just fits straight in. No sockets, no Allen keys, nothing. Makes me think, why don't more makes really use these? So that's how to rebuild a Fordson Major steering box. Sorry I missed out bits and pieces, but you got to adjust to it anyway. I filled it up with oil now. I need to put it standing up. And I'll watch now if it actually leaks any oil out before I paint it. So the leftover casing from the spare steering box, I bolted it on the gearbox instead of a proper one. Otherwise you have a big hole in the top of the gearbox where water can get in. So I sealed it on, and it was right from rain then. So as you can see, when you take the steering box off, it leaves a big hole in the top of the gearbox. So you have to seal it up somehow while you're messing with it. That's it fitted now. Thank you for watching, and that's it from me for now then.